Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I just want you to give me your full name and then your reaction to this judgment.
Okay, good evening. My name is Kemi Adekomi. I'm a filmmaker, I'm a producer director, and I'm also a child sexual abuse advocate. And I've been in the forefront of the case against Baba Ijesha, the rape case and child molestation case. And it's been a long journey coming. And finally, today we got judgment. I was in court all through the judgment proceedings for several hours. So it was a beautiful time. I mean, at some point, I was a bit apprehensive when the judge was, reading out, the defense case, that of the prosecution and everything. But finally, 4 out of 6 charges against him he was guilty of, and he was given 16 years, which is well, some of us were hoping for, something higher than that, but in all, it's a win-win because we also have the fear of the Nigerian judicial system thing, but this is to strengthen our belief in the Nigerian justice system that after all there is hope. Because a lot of people actually even thought the case had been killed like so many others before now. But we thank God that the voices of people like us were not silent, so it's a win-win for us. I'm super excited personally because this is something that I also am the founder of Movement Against Child Sexual Abuse. So it's something I'm very extremely passionate about. Cases like this, they put me on edge, and we always hope and pray for justice. So this is just a clear signal to all child molesters out there that the long arms of the law will catch up with you, no matter who you are. If this can happen to Baba Ijesha, trust me, anybody can go down for it. So I'm pretty much excited, and it's been a beautiful celebration, for those of us who have been anticipating this. So yes, I can tell you that it's a win-win.
Okay, are you satisfied with that judgment, or you think it deserves something stiffer than this with the penalty?
Like I said in most interviews I granted, I said my own organization, we're actually coming up with something that we're going to push to the National Assembly, which is to include genital castration for all child molesters. As far as we're concerned, no matter the number of years that is given to a child molester, they will go to jail, they will come back. Some of them may learn their lessons, some may not. But at the end of the day, what we want is for these people to feel the pain that they put these children through. Now, when I say pain, I don't mean physical pain because some of them even say they feel or they think that it is fun for these children. I was speaking to a male friend of mine sometime who was molested as a child, and he said to me, molesting a male child is actually a good thing or something. I can't remember the words he used. And in my head, I'm like, seriously? So we are going to push for it to be added to the judgment, and then we also believe that life imprisonment is the best judgment for every child molester because at the end of the day, most abused children become abusers in future, and the cycle continues. But when there's genital castration, the fear alone of that judgment being given, when you know that I'm likely going to be given genital castration as part of my judgment, you would think twice before you touch a child. So for me, that judgment was little compared to where we are going to and what we are hoping to get in the future as regards child sexual molestation.
Yeah, there are speculating. I mean, comments that the judgment ran for so long. I mean, the case ran for so long. Is that not an indication that a complainant can be disabused, can be frustrated, waiting for justice?
Yes, well, I can't really say that the case went on for so long because there was a case I was on. It was also a high profile case, of a girl that was impregnated by her father in Nasarawa. I don't know if you know that story. The woman the girl's mother is the Cameroonian, and she was on one of this, it was all over the place. We were also on that case. The case went on for over 2 years. Imagine a father impregnating his own child, and the case went on for over 2 years. And even after the case was laid to rest in September 2021, 5 months later, the judge refused to give judgment. And I remember myself and my team, we went on social media, hashtag, let me not mention her name now because finally judgment was given. That's the power of social media. So, I mean, like I said, we can't say that it went on for so long. The important thing is judgment was given, and it was just about a year and a few months. Even though I still believe that in such cases as this, it can be faster. But maybe because there were so many, like for the judge today, she kept on reading for over an hour because there was a lot of. I heard that the defense brought in even CCTV analysts. So I cannot say it went on for too long. The important thing is the judge took her time to listen to both sides, and that's why we have a fair judgment today. So for me, I don't have issues with the length of time. The important thing is no matter how long it takes, let justice be served.
Okay. Did you see any remorse in Baba Ijesha after the judgment was passed?
Interestingly, like I said, I was in court since a few minutes to 9.
Yeah.
Baba Ijesha came into court just about 10:30, and if you watch the videos, he was sitting right beside me at some point, right beside me. He was sitting on the right, I was sitting on the left. I was wearing dark glasses. Initially, he was sitting in front where the cameras were picking him, and then unfortunately for him, the owner of the seat came and said, "That's my seat," and he stood up. He didn't have a seat to sit, so somebody had to offer him, the seat that was beside me, and he sat there. So he was right beside me for a long time, and I kept looking at this guy. That in fact, the aura that he came into the courtroom with was disgusting and irritating to me. I'm like, is this the guy who's anticipating judgment? Is it like he believes that, oh, not be Nigeria, he's going to go scot-free? That was what I saw in his demeanor. That was what I read on Baba Ijesha's body today as he walked in the courtroom. And I was just, I was angry within myself. And that was when I started praying and hoping that this guy needs to be set. He just has to go down for this. And then when he sat beside me, of course, I was speaking one or two things that he was saying to people, this, that. But in my head, I'm like, you ain't saying nothing yet. If God tarries, you're not going to leave this courtroom a free man. When he was giving judgment, of course, his judgment was given eventually. He was quiet. There was nothing, at that point, there was nothing he could do. But before judgment, you could see him with his two hands on his, he was just, feeling all over the place. And I'm like, wow, okay. In fact, I heard some people saying that, or is it that he knows what the judgment is going to be? This is Nigeria, all of those funny comments. But of course, one cannot blame these people because, at some point we begin to, have fears about our judicial system. But today I'm proud of the judiciary, I'm proud of Justice Taiwo, and I'm proud that justice was served. Even if it might not be all the time, but this time around, justice was served. And who cares about how he felt? The important thing is that he went down for his sins.
Okay, I want to ask you a question on the team of lawyers he paraded, his defense counsels. So there were even senior advocates of Nigeria. Were you people not intimidated by the profile of these lawyers?
Interestingly, the two senior advocates were not in court today. Both SAN Awosika and SAN Ogala. Both of them were. I was wondering too, like, okay, what's going on? The names of all this, they were all younger lawyers who were in court today. And I was wondering why didn't the two SANs, I don't know if they are more than two, but at least I know those two, Ogala and Awosika SAN. Both of them were not in court today. So I don't know why. I don't know. And then even if they were, whoever the lawyers are, they're not intimidated by that. The most important thing is there were evidences. The judge looked into every single evidence. As a matter of fact, the defense were trying to discredit that video that everybody saw. According to what the judge was reading, that they tried to discredit it, that it was a script. He was doing that for a film, and thank God for the wisdom of the judge and for glaring evidence. As a matter of fact, I heard them say that a CCTV expert or something. I think this case was properly done. I give it to Justice Taiwo. 100%.
How did you respond in the course of the case when he said that they were actually acting and the girl was also, an actor in in what he was doing,
I think Baba Ijesha was ill-advised. There were too many inconsistencies in everything he said. Following the case from day one, one moment he's saying this, another moment he's saying this. And, one just keeps wondering, what are they telling him? Why are they giving him this advice? Because why would anybody in his right senses tell us that what we saw in that video is acting? There were no cameras. I'm a filmmaker. There were no cameras, there was no light man, there was nothing. And when did you start acting without cameramen? In every film set, we have not less than, in every film set, not less than 10 people behind the camera. You didn't see any of those people, and so what were you acting for? You didn't even know that there was CCTV. So please tell me what you were. Who were you acting for? What were you acting for? What script were you given? On set, we all have our blue script. So which script were you acting? Do you understand? It was a no-brainer. So it was foolish for him to have been advised, maybe by his lawyers, to say that was a skit or that was a film. Even the most dumb person knew that was just trying to get him off the hook. But well, thank God the court didn't buy that. So for that, I'm happy.
Did Princess come to court today?
No, she was not in court today.
Oh, can you explain why she didn't come?
Well, I cannot speak for her, but
Okay.
I know I was in communication with her, but no, she wasn't in court today.
Okay, were you able to talk to her after the judgment?
Yeah, well, not speak to her, but we communicated, and of course, we are all excited. Everybody was excited about the judgment.
Okay.
Like I said, I mean, we have wanted more, but it's still very okay.
But there's likelihood that he gets an appeal, he makes an appeal.
Yes,
according to your Fabi.
Yes, his lawyers granted interview immediately after the verdict was given. His lawyers granted interview. His best friend or family or whoever he is, Yomi Fabi, also granted interview, and they both said yes, there was going to be an appeal.
Okay, are you ready for that round of exercise
And
again?
of course, oh yes, but this time around, I can tell you, I'm almost 100% sure that appeal will not fly. I'm almost, but of course, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not in the judiciary. Everybody has the right to appeal. So let's wait and see.
Okay.
You have the right to appeal, yes, but I don't see it flying. I don't see it going anywhere at all. But of course, they can appeal and they will appeal.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank
All
you.
right, you're welcome.
Yeah.